Okay, so as some of you might have known, I was basically raised in a barn. I made a joke about getting a chicken, or about getting chickens, and my mom took this to heart. She said, "Heck yeah, chickens, that's a great idea." I'm like, "No, Mom, please do not get chickens." So she got chickens. My daily chores included cleaning up after chickens, checking for eggs, giving them food and water and stuff. Cotton. Oh, yeah, so my mom got chickens. And this got to the point to where when we moved over to our next house, we got one that had a barn. It was an old horse barn, so it was pretty big. And we converted it into essentially a gigantic chicken coop. Chicken coop. Chicken coop. Chicken coop. Chicken coop. Chicken coop. We converted it into a giant chicken coop. And at one point, we had at least 150 or so chickens. It got to the point where our chicken farm was pretty self-sustaining. They were free range, so they were allowed to go wherever the heck they wanted, but they didn't really go much further than like 30 feet from the barn. And they would lay eggs, and then they would be, we had a couple of roosters, so they would be, properly fertilized. We would okay, we're just gonna leave 6 in here. We're gonna leave these 6. We're gonna mark these 6, and we're gonna leave them in here. And we're gonna take the rest of these, and because 150 chickens, 3 of which are roosters, that's a lot of eggs. It's a lot of eggs. We had a lot of chickens. So, and eventually, my mom wanted to expand our portfolio. For instance, getting a horse, like in the time I fell off my horse video. So after Cotton, shush, you're okay. Just shush. After that was turkeys. We got 5 turkeys. Which was a terrible idea. My mom ordered, I think it was 3 males and 2 females, which is a stupid idea because we didn't know at the time that turkeys form what is called a harem when they get older, which means it's 1 turkey per, there's 1 male turkey for every 4 or 5 females, and the males will fight for dominance to the death. One of the females had drowned when she was a chick. She had drowned in the watering dish because we had an open watering dish. It was more like a bowl, which is a dumb idea for chicks in general, much less turkey. Young turkey chicks, you good? Good, bud? Yeah, he's good. All right. The 3 the 3 males, 1 died in a fight for dominance. Then the other female got eaten by, the 1 died in the fight for dominance, another died in a fight for dominance, and then the second female ran into the woods and then got eaten by what is, I assume, was a pack of coyotes. So we had the last turkey, who was actually the biggest of all the turkeys. A quick note, you're only supposed to keep turkeys for a year before you slaughter them for food. Because if you don't, they get big. They get really big. Turkeys, domestically, they can get very, very large in a very quick period of time. And the bigger that they get, the more ornery and angry that they get, and the more likely that they are to kill each other. And so you usually only keep them for about a year and then you slaughter them, and then food. We waited 3 years to slaughter this turkey. We had to cut it in half, fit it in the oven, because this is a big turkey. It's a really, really big okay, so a common turkey is like 40 pounds. A good sized turkey, 30, 40 pounds of meat. They're alive, they're like 40 or 50 pounds. This turkey alive this turkey after we had slaughtered and cut it up was about 70 pounds. This was this was a 100-pound turkey. It was a really big turkey. Holy crap. It was a turkey the size of a small person. We had 2 goats. Both of them were miniature mountain goats. Miniature mountain goats are still pretty big goats. These guys are like 120 pounds. They're like a big dog. They're the size of a big dog. And they like to wrestle. The ornery one we called Billy Sue, because my mom is a hick. She would rear up onto her back feet, or onto her back legs, and try to box me in the face. Every time that I jumped in there, immediately, she would try to box me in the face. And I eventually learned to, shove her in the chest real hard to get her to go back onto 4 limbs, or onto all 4 legs, and then she'd run up and try to headbutt me right in the nuts, and I learned to, catch her by the horns, and then, push back with all my weight, and then turn her over. She weighed more than I did at this point. I was, I think it was, 90 pounds, and she was, 120, 130 pounds. She was a very muscular goat, too. So she would, shove me into the wall, and if I wasn't quick enough. And I eventually had to learn to, slowly turn her head and push her over to the side to get her to, fall onto her side, and then just, pin her down for a few seconds. And after that, she'd be like, okay, you're still the dominant one for today. And then I grabbed their food and their water, and then I had to dodge the turkeys again. And I had to make it a thing where I would get up on top of the gate, and then I had to leap over top of the turkeys with the food and water dish in hand. I had to walk the goats like dogs over to the little pasture area, the little caged in part, and they would just munch away over there. There was one time where I did end up slapping one of the turkeys in the face, because I tripped on something, and it sat up and the turkey was right there, and I saw him rear back to peck me, and I slapped him in the face. And then I slapped him in the face, and I climbed up the one ladder up to the hayloft, and I just kind of sat there and waited for him to go away. I look back on it fondly, but I was terrified back then, because this is anytime, my mom would freak out whenever she heard about the chickens or the turkeys going to attack me. She's like, they got big beaks and spurs on their feet and stuff. And it's like, don't let them attack you. They'll really mess you up and hurt you and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, now I'm scared. Why are you sending a 9-year-old to do these things if you know that he's going to get chased by these demon birds? You know, it's a really fun thing. Turkeys, they have a very, very thick set of body feathers. They're designed to be very hard and absorb impacts super, super well. And they absorb impacts so well that you can shoot buckshot out of a 12-gauge shotgun. They can't make it through the chest feathers of a turkey because they are that good at absorbing impacts. So me kicking a turkey in the chest does nothing. And I'm 9. So it's not like I can just pick the thing up and throw it, or grab it by the neck and just... It's not like I can just grab it... nowadays, if a turkey tried to attack me, I just grab it by the neck and and pick it up by the neck and throw it. And like back then, I'm 9. A jug of milk is heavy to me. I can't lift a 100-pound turkey. Forget that. I had a lot of fun back then, though. Farm was fun. The farm was fun.